Hi guys, good evening, good afternoon to everyone who's there online on this session. Welcome guys, welcome back to another video with Pratham Test Prep. This is your host Sanjeev Bhatia again with a new video on your legal current affairs for your CLAT and AILET in 2022. So we are covering the month of February today. So people who haven't liked or subscribed to the channel, do make sure that you are hitting on the like and share and subscribe button. And also, if you are not a part of a Telegram channel, do make sure that you go and subscribe us on Telegram. Also, for all these videos that come up and all the expert advice and all the updates on your examinations, as you can know that all these dates are coming up. AILET and CLAT are extending their dates and everything is getting changed. So all these updates will be available to you on these Telegram channels, right? So do make sure that you go and subscribe to this channel. Now coming to the February legal current affairs that we'll be discussing today, very important, because this month is coming upon in the important months for your CLAT and AILET examination. From October it becomes very important, and for the people who are going for CLAT in 2023, this is a very important month for them also. So if you are watching this video, don't forget that you are watching it very carefully. Now the first news for the day is that Sergio Mattarella re-elected as the president of Italy for the second term, right? So she's the Italian president. Now, the re-election in Italy is a very rare. That's a very rare phenomena. Till date, only Giorgio Napolitano was re-elected, okay, had served the second term. He was the only person who was able to do that. Now she's the second one. Now, Frank Walter has been elected as the president of Germany. Now you know that because of the war in Russia, all these European countries have become very sensitive to what's happening around the world, because the bombing is happening on the borders of Poland now. So that is something that is very concerning for all the Europeans right now, that what will happen if they are going for such a re-election and how will it affect their life, right? So as you know, the chancellor is very serious about these issues that are going on around the world, and they have given multiple speeches in the European Union. So you can see that the stands have been cleared by all the European countries, and they are pretty scared at that moment. Now, coming to the next news for the day, that is that Kala Ramchandrana has been appointed as the Gurugram's first women police commissioner. So she's an IPS officer, right? She's the first woman police commissioner of Gurgaon. She's a 1994 batch IPS officer, and she took charge from the outgoing chief KK Rao, who's been transferred to Center for Police and Training and Research. Now she's become the principal secretary to the Haryana government. She became the first woman commissioner of the district since the commissioner system was introduced in 2007, right? So she's been working there for a long period of time, and she's a graduate of 1994. So she's been working for more than 25 years, right? 27 years she's been working, more than that. So there you can see that we are towards the change where we are introducing women in the society very regularly, and these things will keep on increasing, and that's a great step towards gender sensitization. Okay, now Haryana has come up with the anti-conversion bill. We have discussed about this news a lot of times while we have been making the videos, so you might have heard this video with us, and this news has been there with a lot of states around UP, Himachal Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh and Karnataka. We have discussed when this came out in Karnataka also. So we have discussed that there has been several love jihad incidents where they have reported that they convert people into different religion, right? So Muslim men forcing Hindu girls to convert to Islam, and this is done by them by doing certain other things. So a lot of leaders, Hindu leaders, have come up and said that this eradicates Hinduism and things of that sort. Now, what is this bill doing? Basically, it is punishing people and prohibiting people from religious conversion. through undue influence, right? So either you are influencing the person through his parents or like siblings or anyone, right? Undue who have an upper hand on that person mentally, right? Next is misrepresentation, like the boy is telling them that I'm a Hindu, and after marriage that they come to know that he's a Muslim boy, right? Now allurement, right? Or coercion means that you force someone to convert, okay, and any other fraudulent means, right? So this also includes greater punishment for conversion in women, scheduled caste, and scheduled tribes. Right? So that there are very sensitive topics that these are covering right now. So if any of the marriages were performed by concealing the religion, the marriage shall be declared void or null under the bill. The designated authority will make the inquiries. Right. So if someone has fraudulently married someone by telling them that they're a Muslim or a Hindu and they turned out to be of some other religion, then they can definitely go to the court and declare that marriage as null and void. Okay. Now coming to the next part is that what is the justification that is being given by the for this act is that the right to freedom of religion cannot be extended to interpret collective right to convert. Okay, because it belongs to the person converting. Still there are mass conversions happening in country. People converting are mostly from vulnerable sections. They are being allured for conversion. There have been many men who marry girls who conceive or who conceal their own identity, right? How will it be established is that the individuals converting from one religion to the other should submit a declaration that the conversion is not being done under unlawful means. Okay, the term unlawful means use force, fraudulent, coercion, undue influence, and under threat. So all of these things are covered under the category of the this bill, that is the anti-conversion bill that Haryana has taken up, and these were the similar justifications and why they were established in other states also. Now coming to the next part, that is the Karnataka High Court has put a ban on online gaming, and they've said it's unconstitutional, and like ban on online gaming is unconstitutional, and also it was taken out by February 14th, where they struck down the provisions of the Karnataka Amendment Act of 2021 that had banned online games. Okay, so this was headed by Chief Justice Rituraj Avasthi and Justice Krishna S. Dikshit, and according to the bench, Karnataka Act number 28/21, to the extent that the provision ultraviolates the constitution, however, not the entire act, right? So they have just removed that provision, not the entire act. Now the judgments was interpreted for prevention and appropriate legislation concerning the subjects like betting and gambling in line with the provisions of the constitution, right? So there was a writ of mandamus that was issued to restrain the respondents from interfering with online gaming business and allied activities of the petitioners. Okay, so they have said that such a ban is obviously unconstitutional in nature. Now, Karnataka Police Amendment Bill of 2021 includes all forms of betting, wagering, any games, chance, except horse riding, because horse riding is exempted. It is a legal betting sport where you can go and legally bet on a horse. Okay. Now they have banned all formats of online games, including wagering, betting, gambling, and all of nature. Online gaming was considered non-minimal offense. It has the fine of 1 lakh rupees and imprisonment up to 3 years. Okay. Now they're also banning games of skills. Government categorized online games using electronic means, virtual currency, and electronic transfer of funds associated with any games as gambling. ठीक है, तो सब कुछ के बारे में बात हो चुकी है यहाँ. Now MPL, that हमने बहुत सुना है, Mobile Premier League, is the first companies to hold back its operation in Karnataka. Paytm first game was also locked. They have challenged in the court. Online companies moved the court to the question the new legislation. Similar laws was challenged in Tamil Nadu. Now, what are the concerns in this case is that according to the Internet and the Mobile Association of India, that is IAMAI, that is that new legislation by the government will dent Karnataka's image as a startup hub. Now, as you know, Delhi is the startup capital of the country, but still Karnataka is one of the startup hubs. Now, state exchequer will witness a huge revenue deficit because of such activities that the state has done. And with new legislations, offshore gamblers will definitely flourish. The bookies that you have, all those people who are underground and they're working like that, and they're charging people exorbitant amount of money. There is no calculation. The government is never going to get those revenues out. They'll never know who betted what and won what. Okay, so it's going to all be hidden from the government. So that's going to be something which is very, very wrong, right? So these are the concerns of the Internet and the Mobile Association of India, that the exchequer will also be definitely there will be an effect on that. Right now, coming to the Supreme Court's on the suspensions of the MLAs, right, members of legislative assemblies, right, while ruling on the constitutionality of the Maharashtra Assembly of July 5th, 2021. The resolution, the apex court maintained that legislators could not be suspended beyond the tenure of the session, right? So the tenure of the session, they cannot go beyond that. They cannot be suspended beyond that. Now, the Supreme Court bench, this was the ruling that was pronounced by Justice A.M. Khanwalkar and C.T. Ravi Kumar and Dinesh Maheshwari. Right, what is this? Why MLAs were suspended? Because these were misbehaving in the assembly and on the matter of the disclosure of data regarding the OBCs. Right now, the suspension was challenged on the grounds of denial of principles of natural justice and the violations that were laid down in the court of law, right? And also that there was no Article 14 that was provided to the person, that is that suspension violates their fundamental rights to equality before the law, right? Now, coming to the next part is that Canadian Prime Minister, Mr. Justin Trudeau, invoked the Emergencies Act for the first time in the month of February, because there was a lot of tension and disputes that were going on between the truckers and the government in Canada, right? So Justin Trudeau came out to be very, very harsh on the truckers this time, but definitely there are a lot of factors to this case, so you cannot take one side. So the Canadian Prime Minister, Mr. Justin Trudeau, invoked the never before used emergency powers to support province in ending the blockades and public disorder that have gripped Ottawa for 18 days, right? And the hands of the participants, so-called Freedom Convoy. So they the truckers named their convoy as the Freedom Convoy right now. So the Emergencies Act to deal with the Freedom Convoy protests started on January 28th by Canadian truckers opposing a vaccinating or a quarantine mandate for cross-border drivers, right? So if you have to quarantine for 14 days, you cannot go cross countries. So, right, people who are doing long trips, right? So there are drivers who drive from the Canadian borders till the end of the United States of America. What will happen to those people? Because they are trying to make a lot of money in between. So that is something which is a problem, and these quarantines will cause a lot of hassles for these truckers. So definitely that's why there was a lot of issues that were going on in Canada regarding the truckers, and Justin Trudeau invoked the Emergency Act article for the first time there. Now, the central government has approved the implementation of the Criminal Justice System Project, that is the ICJS project by the Ministry of Home Affairs during the period of from 2022 to 2023 to 2025 to 2026. Now, this will be implemented as a central sector scheme, National Crime Records Bureau, that is NCRB, which takes care of all the records of crimes around the country, which gives a final report in the end of the year that how many crimes happened around the country, what was the ratio of the crimes that happened, who were the people involved. All the things are there in the NCRB. Now they will be responsible for the implementation of the project in association with the National Informatics Center, that is the NIC. Okay, so this definitely helps to understand a lot of systems around the country that are going on for the criminal justice and how they are functioning, and their health is also checked under the way, right? So these are the important news that are there for the day. So I hope you were able to understand some important news for the month of February. Do make sure that you don't forget to hit on the like, share and subscribe button. So don't forget to hit on the bell icon also. So happy Holi to every one of you who's watching this channel from my end. And please do join us on at 5 p.m. today. We'll be coming up with the session that if the CLAT is now postponed and AILET is also postponed, so what should be your strategy now? right? What should you do? What should be your steps? Everything should come up into your mind. So we'll be discussing that with our two other mentors, Mr. Amandeep Rajgotra from Nalsar, Hyderabad, and Saral Minocha from NLU, Delhi. So there will be a lot of discussions. You can join us live at 5 today. So thanks for joining the live session. Do take care of yourself. Hope you are all taking care and wearing your mask and using your hand sanitizers. And don't forget to use the basic thing, that is social distancing. So do take care of yourself. Thanks for joining this live session. Keep preparing and keep smiling.